Hello, my name is Derek Waller, or retired New York City police detective of 24 years. Yeah, I gave 24 years of my life to that job. Anyway, I'm here to get a few things off my chest. Being retired, I can pretty much, as I did before, speak the truth. I was recently involved in a documentary called Crime and Punishment, where we spoke out about the illegal quotas in the New York City Police Department. That's a whole nother story. But today I'm here to talk about a few things. I'll start with, being a police officer. It's not an easy job. Not everybody's made to be a police officer. The training definitely needs to change. But that's not the answer. That's not the entire answer. This thing with killing these black men that we're going through has been going on for a long, long time, and it's not just going to stop in one day. I heard I think it was the governor say, stop protesting. You won. And then 2 days later, or the next day, another black man gets killed. So we didn't win just because they stopped the chokeholds and now they're opening up the disciplinary records under certain circumstances. You see, they put that in there. So they're not opening up all the disciplinary records. They're opening up case by case. Because if they open them all, you see the disparities between the black and the whites, and you'll say, oh shit. So, police officers, wow, we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week while you're home having Christmas dinner, while you're home with your family. We're out walking the street. We're out there in the rain, in the cold, humid. I mean, all types of weather, all type of situations. I mean, family disputes, domestic disputes, rapes, murders, even the drug dealers. Even the drug dealers come to the police when they're about to get killed. Yeah, they come to the police also. So, I mean, fires, women are pregnant, car accident, people penned in cars. I mean, decapitated. I remember when they killed the guy, when the Jewish guy hung himself in Brooklyn. Nobody calls the number for the fire department because there is no number. When there's a fire, people call 911. We go there. We reach out to the fire department on most occasions. So when a woman's ready to have a baby, who does she call? She don't call the hospital. She calls 911. We go there. We call a bus or ambulance, and then A leads to B. So being a police officer is not an easy job, but at the same time, police officers need to be held accountable for their actions. They definitely need to be held accountable. I don't care if you're a black officer, white officer, Asian officer, you need to be held accountable for your actions. That's first. Being a police officer takes a lot of things that can't be taught in the police academy. A lot of things, they teach you in the academy. Once you graduate, it goes right out the door, So I'll leave you with a few words: restraint, compassion, to be secure within your person, And that, I mean, if there's an argument, you have to know your level of comfort. Everybody and officers have a different level of comfort. I have a high level of comfort because I have the ability to know basically when the shit's gonna hit the fan. When I've been in many situations where where something's about to jump off, and there's different ways of de-escalating a situation which officers don't know how to do. So there's been many times where just the fact that I told my partner, yo, put your gloves on. We're about to do this. That to someone, to perpetrate, that's a threat. They see you put the black gloves on, he's selling shit. These officers are ready to rock and roll. Another way you can de-escalate a situation, there's been many times where I've been called into a lobby or a building. There's a large group, maybe somebody smoking weed, passerby, somebody comes to the lobby with their kid, they don't want to smell that, I totally get it. And it's a lot of times it's not a must arrest situation, but there's a lot of times when we get called to a scene where we just have to disperse the crowd. It's just a little bit unruly. Instead of writing a summons for blocking traffic or anything like that, I would tell my partner, yo, just chill, just chill. Let me walk over there, because you got a group of 4 or 5 guys. When they see one officer walk over there, it's not a threat. They see 5 officers come in with their gear on. They like, okay, the shit's about to hit the fan. So, I mean, each officer has to be secure in his level of comfort. Wow, it's just, I actually thought that with this big outcome of the different nationalities and all kind of people protesting this time around, I actually thought that this would be the one where there would be some change. And then I saw a video on YouTube where there was a old man. It was in Boston, if I'm not mistaken. The Boston police was in riot gear. I'm talking about helmets, batons, everything. This old man, 73 years old, gets pushed down by one of the officers. And I mean, every officer walked past this old man while he's laying on the ground, and he has like a nice amount of blood in the back of his head. You can see he's cracked his head or whatever, however he fell, there's a big splotch of blood there. And not one of these officers had just the mentality to say, wow, I got to give him some aid. Fuck everybody else. Fuck these other officers. This is my job. I swore oath to protect. And this is not doing that. So, I mean, after these, and then even I think once it got known, the sergeant took a moment, and the sergeant, I guess, called for some aid. But this is already after all these officers showed no compassion. Not one of them said, wow, this is a human being. He needs some help. So this is something that's lacking. These are things that can't be taught, And then I saw another incident literally yesterday where we're actually dealing with the COVID. We're going through different levels of opening up the city and so forth and so on. And this Hasidic, I don't know if I can say Jewish guy, Hasidic Jewish man, whatever. He was Jewish. He had the yarmulke. And what he did was he cut the lock of a playground so the children can go in and play. That's criminal mischief. That's a crime. He committed a crime. It's all over YouTube. And if you want to go check it out, penal law number 14512, criminal mischief. If that was a black youth, they'd be looking for him all over the news. Just like a lot of these guys breaking into stores and looting, they find him. They would have, if that was a black kid that did that, they would have hunted that kid down, seeing that he's all over YouTube. But to this Jewish man, nothing happens. So nothing is changing no time soon until we get some equal rights. I don't know, man. The police department needs to be reinvented. Something needs to be done. They give millions and millions of dollars to the police department. Some of that money needs to be put into some community, into some of the neighborhoods of color, where the last few years they've taken out all of the after school programs. I remember when I was actually in Brooklyn, off of Nostrand, there was a library there, and they was actually trying to close down the library. They don't do that in none of the rich neighborhoods where the white folks live. So, I mean, they everybody protested, and some city officials came through, and they wound up keeping the library open. But this is the place where kids go after school to use the computers. Those children in the poverty-stricken neighborhoods that don't have any Wi-Fi, their parents are not rich, they don't have their own computers, so they would go to after school, do their homework, and so forth. But this is something that nobody ever thinks about. So I'm just here to say I'm retired, and being a police officer is not an easy job, but at the same time, it has to be done where people's rights are not violated. And when I say people, I mean for the most part, people of color. Since I was a kid, I heard this black man got shot. I'm not even gonna say any names because the list goes on and on and on, and it ain't gonna stop no time soon. No time soon. So Wow. Man, I've had like quite a few people call me and reach out to me. And I used to say, as soon as this dies down, everybody's going to be quiet. But I hope that this battle, and yeah, we're in a battle. I hope this goes on and on and on. You got to make some noise. Sometimes you just got to make some noise. But this documentary I spoke about called Crime and Punishment, it goes into the fact that the police department uses, bodies of color to put money into the city. They write you summonses, they lock you up, they throw you in jail. All of this, week after week after week after week. This is why, this is why black bodies and white bodies see the police department through different eyes. Even me being a retired detective of 24 years, I'm terrified, man. I'm terrified when I get stopped by the police. I roll my window down. Yeah, I still got one of these. I roll my window down. I put my hands out the window. So they can't say, hey, he was a threat, because, you got one guy and two cops and my windows rolled down, my hands out the window. I shouldn't get shot up. But if that were to happen, they'll probably get off, because it's on those rare occasions the cops are held accountable for their actions. So I'll leave you with that. And please, brother, sister, everybody, be safe. Peace.